All right, let's finish up a Wednesday show today with something really important here. In just a few weeks, open enrollment gets underway again on your health care plans, and that's why Pat Davis has stopped by, because he is your health plan man. You can find him at yourhealthplanman.com, and you need to talk to him because he does it a little bit differently in that he saves you a whole lot of money, and you just might get a check from the company.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to let you explain all that, but before we explain that, you're looking at him. You like the shirt. You like. I'm saying this to the folks that are on Facebook Live. They're looking at him. He's looking awful dapper today. He's got his Sorrento shirt on. He's got his hat on, his cap, looking awful good. Looking European today. He spent 18 days in Italy. That's pretty good. Did you get to Rome for a while?
Yep.
How many days?
We were in Rome for 2 days.
Okay, so did you get to see all the sites for Rome?
The main ones. Went to the Vatican, saw the Sistine Chapel.
That's impressive, huh?
That is impressive.
To hear about it and to see it are two different things.
Man. It's pretty incredible. It
Yeah?
really is.
You see David while you were hanging around?
We did not. I had some issues. I've been having some problems with my health. Thankfully,
Right.
I have the insurance I do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change my health.
Yeah. But that's why you got the insurance to take care of those issues.
Yep, for sure. But
So what was one thing that really made the trip?
Oh boy, that's so tough.
Don't say pizza.
No. Well, that was good too, but the several different things that by themselves would be a once in a lifetime experience.
Mm-hmm.
We had multiple ones of those. My wife's favorite, probably one of mine, maybe my number one, was riding in a gondola and having, being sung to in a gondola.
The guy was singing to you?
Yeah, we had a singer and an accordion player along with the gondolier. So maybe we didn't want the gondolier to sing to us. I don't know.
Not very good.
I don't.
Is he all right?
He didn't sing. But boy, when they started to sing Volare in Italian and going out into the Grand Canal, and gosh, that was incredible.
How was it? Because I've heard some people say, you go. That's Venice, correct?
Yes.
You go to Venice. Number one, it's sinking, just so everybody knows. But number two, you were over there. Well, it was probably getting a little cooler. In the height of the heat, it can smell awful nasty.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Good.
So that was good.
I'm glad to hear that.
It was pretty warm, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was just, we had a blast. We ended in Terracini, Sicily, which we just loved that. We just walked and found some like caves and 25 degrees cooler than, outside in the heat, and, just enjoyed it. Lots and lots of memories. Lots of memories.
Zach, everybody knows who Pat Davis is. Did you know that? They do. Everybody knows who Pat Davis is. In fact, when they were when they went to Rome and were there where the Pope was standing up on a balcony, and they all had the hats on, and a guy was standing kind of about six people down, and he was asking his friend, which one of them up there is the Pope? He says, I don't know, but that guy over there, that's Pat Davis. They know who Pat Davis is. I'm just telling you. It's Pat Davis. So, Pat, tell me and tell my listeners, they need to be aware you don't want to do business the way you've continued to do business. Now's the time to make the change.
Yeah, basically, you've got two mindsets when it comes to healthcare, and one of them is to really try to insure against what I call the lottery of health diseases, where that multiple, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousand plus bills, that could happen. But the other side of that is that you're going to go to the doctor. You're going to have checkups. You're going to have preventive care. Those kind of things are what most people want in health insurance. They want to be able to take care of on that level. And our philosophy is an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Well,
That's
that
correct.
we grew up with, right? Well, in all seriousness, what happens with our insurance is we pay people to go to the doctor. And if they are smart and they shop and they use the network that we offer and recommend, they will get money from the insurance company. It's just that simple. The reason we had an extended trip in Italy is because we had some procedures. My wife and I, between the two of us, have had over $30,000 in medical bills this year. Those are fake. That's not a real number. And we get to take advantage of all the discounts. And then the insurance company puts its money on the table. And all said and done, we're probably a couple $1,000s to the good with my deductible met and all of that. I mean, you can't see that with any other kind of insurance.
You've got to explain this to people because people
Yeah.
are hearing you and they're going, what? Yeah, explain what.
Yeah, and there's limited that I can explain, but what I can tell you is one philosophy is you pay your premium every month, you have a claim, you pay your money, you pay your deductible, you pay your 20% for an 80-20 plan, up to a certain amount and the insurance company kicks in. Well, that sounds good until you go to a place like the surgery center of Oklahoma City and you have, let's say, a pacemaker implant, all right? Cash is all they take there, and that's less than $10,000. You go to Baptist Hospital in Little Rock, and you have the same procedure done, and it's going to bill your insurance company $100,000. That's a crock. That is sick. And this is what continues to go on over and over and over and over.
That's why it keeps going up in price.
Yeah, absolutely. The Oklahoma Surgery Center in Oklahoma City, like I said, they have had 0 increases in the last 20 years and 3 decreases in their prices in 20 years. There isn't a healthcare crisis in America that's real. There is a manufactured healthcare crisis in this country, and it just continues to be driven by politics. So you have a lady in Arizona, she gets bit by a rattlesnake. He's got his "Don't Tread on Me" little sign over there. I see it every time. She gets bit by a rattlesnake. It costs $400 for the antivenom, and they billed the insurance company, Dave, this is sick, $80,000. $80,000 for a $400 serum. Those kind of things happen over and over and over and over and over. And I have people say, well, that's just the way it is. It's the way it is if you let it be the way it is.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't that silly? Well, that's just the way it is. Would you feel that way if it was your house payment?
Yeah.
Or your car payment? Of course you wouldn't.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Think about going to the grocery store and loading up 2 carts of groceries and waiting to get a bill 2 weeks later. No one's going to do that. You're going to know how much it costs before you leave the store. And in a lot of cases, you know before you even go, a little bit of an idea of what it's going to cost. Healthcare is one of the only things there is where you never can find out what it's going to cost you until the event is over. And one of the biggest things, our president is very proactive on this. He's trying to get all the insurance all the providers, the hospitals, to post their pricing online. But here's the thing. If you look and see it cost $100,000 for a pacemaker, that's what they're going to bill your insurance. There's nothing you can do about it. Even though you know it costs less than 10 if you pay cash, they're not going to do anything about it. They're going to work the system. They're going to play the game. And the providers and the insurance companies and a bunch of middlemen, 1 million middlemen, take all that money instead of like me in my situation. I can look and go, okay, I know that in our area, if it's okay to name a provider,
Go ahead.
Okay, in our area, I know St. Vincent's going to take good care of me because they give me a good discount. And I was in the emergency room and my discount was almost the whole bill. It was incredible. When I went to the hospital 5 days in June with a pulmonary embolism, almost died. This was not a cool thing. My bill was $15,000. And then I had some other, not surgery, but visiting doctors and different things like that.
Anybody comes in and says, how you doing? And you say, fine. You go, okay, that'd be
Yeah.
$500.
Yeah, 1,800. Yeah, yeah. So especially when you start having them come in and look at CT scans and stuff like that and read them, we're all in the wrong profession that way. But when I get my bill and it's $15,000 and I go, that's what? A fake bill. I know it's a fake bill. And my final bill was $10,000 something. My deductible was a certain amount. After they took out my deductible, paid my bill and everything, I had almost $3,000 left over, and I received a check from my company. That's what you're asking about or talking about.
Yeah.
I received a check from my company for almost $3,000. So there's nothing like that out there. Your alternative is to always pay money out of your pocket. So somebody goes and they say, you know what? I had a $100,000 bill and I only had to pay $8,000 out of my pocket. Well, guess what? That same bill, I would have paid much less out of my pocket, or I may have even received a check.
Got a check back.
Yeah. So if I send someone to the doctor and we give them an allowance, if you would, and say, if you spend more than this, you'll pay the difference. If you spend less than this, you're going to get a check. People are going to be smart, and they're going to go to the doctor and say, you know what? I'm expecting when I get done, I'm going to have a check. But if your doctor is not in our network, doesn't matter. My personal doctor is not in our network. My wife's doctor is not in our network. But guess what? We go to them anyway. We just go and pay cash, get a great discount, send in our bill, and we get reimbursed. And, we end up with either very little out of pocket. My wife's plan is actually better than mine because we have a new plan. She was the number 10 person in the United States to get on this plan with our company. And myself, I would have, but I'd already had that situation where I was in the hospital. My wife will get a check every time she goes to the doctor, in or out of network. Now, you tell me anywhere you see something. I have people say, oh, I only have a $10 copay. That's fine. Pay $10. I get a check. Which would you rather have?
Yeah.
And I talked to a lady. She said, I can go to the tribe in Oklahoma, and I don't have to pay anything for my health care. I said, you can go to your doctor here in Arkansas and you'll get a check and you don't have to pay to go to Oklahoma. And she was like, wow, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's a whole new mind.
Travel to Oklahoma.
It costs to travel. Yes. And free is good, but better than free. Getting money back is even better. And then people say all the time, why are your prices, why is what you're doing so low and so different? My question is, why is everybody else's locked into that old system, and why are everybody else's prices so high?
All right.
And they will continue to be that way until people say, I've had enough of it. I want to get out of that system.
All right. 20 minutes after 5. If you want to ask a question, 501-823-0965. If you're here in the area, it's just 823-0965. Remember, you can get a hold of Pat Davis at yourhealthplanman.com. or call him at 501-605-6935, and he'll talk directly to you.
Yeah, and text.
Yeah.
Love to text.
Yeah, text him. So with us, Pat Davis, yourhealthplanman.com. I can't say that enough. You need to go there, yourhealthplanman.com, or text him at 501-605-6935 and find out what this can do for you. I mean, the person who's sitting out there listening right now, Pat, what should they be asking themselves?
First of all, have they ever gone to the doctor and got paid, to do it? It makes sense because the Medicare plans for seniors are doing this now. The Advantage plans, they pay $25 for a Walmart gift card or $15 or whatever it might be, different types of gift cards for them to go and have a checkup done, to do whatever. Why? Because they basically get paid a premium by the government, and whatever money they save, that's their profit as a company. So if people are healthy, they keep their money. Our insurance is brilliant, and our president is an amazing guy. I got to spend good time with him in Italy. That's where I was actually there because I won a trip with our company. And one of the most brilliant minds in insurance in all of America, in fact. Doctorate from Purdue University, and his actuary doctor, or whatever he has for insurance, was like the Purdue doctorate was a walk in the park compared to that. That's how, this is a brilliant person. and understands that you have two different concepts for insurance. You can either pay on the front end as a client, right? Or you can have the insurance company put its money on the table and then the client kicks in what is left. It's brilliant, and it keeps people in a lot better situation.
And it drives prices down.
It drives prices down drastically. So we work with what's called transparent pricing. So my thing that I would say to anybody listening is just get a hold of me. If you've got insurance currently, let me see if I can get you a better rate. If you're paying $25 copay to go to the doctor, that sounds good. Or $5 or $10, we're going to probably pay you money to go to the doctor. I think that's a lot better.
Yeah.
Somebody said I was born at night, but it wasn't last night, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So those are easy things to think about. If you've got if you're self-employed, I help people who are self-employed every single day. If you have insurance through your work, I have people all the time are telling me, I get my insurance from my husband's work, but we're paying so much for it. I can get them a better rate with their employer paying part of their plan. I can get them a better rate. And I'm doing this every day.
And maybe you're paying a decent rate, but then you look at your deductible.
And it's huge.
And you don't get to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. And my new plan, I was saying my wife was the number 10 person in the United States on this plan. And there's no deductible unless you go to the hospital. And I have people all the time telling me, I went to get a colonoscopy. I had to pay that. It all went toward my deductible. My wife had one, and they found a polyp, so that becomes a surgery.
Right.
Now she's getting checks, which actually helped to extend our trip when we were in Italy. Mm-hmm. We're getting checks from the company with all of our bill paid and everything else. So I've had people at church that said, I had 2 and I never got paid. Yeah. Well, that's because it's a different insurance. But people only can break out of that system if they give me a chance. And so I just say, let me look and see if you're paying a lot or you're paying what you might think is a little. Give me a shot at it. It only takes a few minutes. I don't share your information with anybody. And here's something else you need to know. If you're thinking about going and starting to shop for health insurance, get ready. You're going to get your head ripped off when it comes time. You're going to get calls, you're going to get emails, and you're going to get text from insurance agents all over the country. Because they sell it. They sell your information over and over and over and over again. So if you go online and you put your information in somewhere, it's going to be sold. I promise you. Unless you go to my website, I am local. I'm in Cabot. I don't give your information to anyone unless you get a plan, and then it's going to go to the company, and they're going to take care of you. But mark my word, you will receive calls 2, 3, 4 years after you ask for information. So be very, very careful. And I'm independent. I can write for any company I want. I can write for what I call big box insurance companies, but I choose not to because I don't like the game they're playing, and I don't like the way they rip off people. It's the biggest legal scam out there by far.
All right. Let's go to Ed. He can't wait, so he's going to talk to you right here. Ed is in Conway. Hi, Ed. How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Your question for Pat.
Hey, I've been looking at the Medishare and all that. What's your opinion on them, on that kind of plan?
Okay, that's a you're talking about a Christian share plan, and
yeah, like Liberty. I don't give no names, but I just
I understand. The most important thing to understand about Christian share plans is that they are not insurance. That's the most important thing to know. And that's got its advantages, but it also has disadvantages. And the biggest one, I will tell you this, I've got a pastor and a good friend of mine. In fact, they were in my youth group. I was a youth pastor 30 years ago. And one of them is a pastor today. He's 42 years old. And his brother was kind of like my right-hand man in our youth group. And both of them are on my plan now. Both of them had a share plan. And the thing they both said that they were frustrated with the most was sometimes it took quite a while for them to get their money. And the other thing is when you walk into a provider, sometimes they're going to look at you like, hey, you don't have insurance. Now, that said, I really like, and it was okay to use the name, Dave, or
Yeah.
Okay, I really like. It's called Christian Healthcare Ministries. A guy that I work with is kind of like my manager, has spoken at their national convention twice. And what we do is we layer our plans with theirs. So basically you would use our insurance, and then for extras or whatever that would be over a certain amount, you file manually a claim to the share plan, and then they kick in and pay their part. And a lot of times that means you getting a check back from our insurance company or coming out with very, very little out of pocket. One drawback with it is you've got to be pretty healthy. And if someone, they have to be a believer, they have to go to church. If they use tobacco, they're declined automatically. And some of them are different than others,
Yeah, they told me that. I did, but they told me I got a 90-day period where I got to quit, and then I got to send them some kind of blood work, make sure it ain't my system.
Yeah, and I totally understand it. I would really like to chat with you if you wouldn't mind. I can get back in contact with you, and we can chat for a little while. I can tell you a little more about what I do, and also a little bit more about the share plans and why I recommend the Christian Healthcare Specific Ministries. It's a great plan.
I want you to talk to Zach. Zach, pick up on line 1 and give him your number and let Pat give you a call.
Yeah,
all right?
Hey, I already wrote his number down. I was listening to your show. I'm going to give him a call tomorrow.
Okay.
And, I'm at work right now. I'm on break. I'm supposed to be on the phone, so.
Okay, you're like in the closet and you got your hand over your phone so your boss can't see you talking.
Actually, my break's up. I'm supposed to be inside here, so.
Okay. We'll talk to you later.
My health insurance at work now is outrageous. I got $3,500 deductible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't pay for nothing. When I go see the doctor, it's just ridiculous. I don't want to pay for insurance. I can't use it.
I agree. You know what my deductible was here? $6,000.
Yeah, mine was over 10 under my Obamacare plan. I mean,
it's incredible.
It was just, and you're right, brother. And I will tell you this, that lots and lots of people, every week I hear that same thing. I'm tired of paying for insurance, and I don't even get to use it. Everything goes toward my deductible. 2 calls just today like that.
I'm scared to go to the doctor because what they're going to charge me. I mean, it's
we'll take good care of you.
All right, Ed. Thank you. Go back to work before the boss sees you. We like you, man. Thank you very much. Good talking with you. Again, if you want to call Pat after the show, 501-605-6935. He'll give you all the information that you're looking for. Or you can text him there as well. If you're like me, I like to do the texting thing.
Yeah.
I'd much rather not get into a phone conversation. I'd much rather text. Or if you want to go to the website, it's yourhealthplanman.com. Now, this is different than most of the healthcare insurance out there, and that's a good thing because they send you a check instead of you having to pay all that money.
Yeah, Dave, one thing that I have found continues to bring confusion. I mean, let's just face it, I don't know of anything healthcare-wise that brought more confusion to our country than Obamacare. I'm just telling you how I feel.
Yeah.
But people still think they're going to get fined if they change insurance or they do whatever. There is no mandate.
Not now.
Yeah, the only person who is going to get penalized is a person who's on a large group. Some of those large groups have still got penalty and some different things like that. But if you are self-employed or you have a small group you're a part of, or you just have your own private insurance in general, there is no mandate that you have to have health insurance or you get penalized. The other thing is open enrollment is November 1st to December 15th. That's around the corner, and it's going to be like a free-for-all. People are going to be coming in from all over the place in the country to get plans. I can write you a plan today. I have lots of people that are coming to me and saying, I want to beat the rush. I want to get ahead of the curve, and I can do that. I write plans all year round. There is no open enrollment with my plans, which I love. And so if you're thinking, man, in November, I'm going to get a hold of Pat, that's fine, but you can call me now. We can talk today. We can talk
get
tomorrow
it set up
and
now.
the next
Start
days.
saving money now.
Absolutely. And if nothing else, you can get a good idea of where you're going to be at. And one thing I just want to really reemphasize, if you go out and start calling insurance companies, especially any of them they advertise on TV or any of the main ones that are advertised online, you are going to get called and called and called and called. And I don't mean you're going to get 10 phone calls. I mean you're going to get calls for 3 years, for 5 years, because that's how we insurance agents get our contacts many times. We find people that have asked for information on health insurance, and we pay, and another person pays, and another person pays, and another person pays, and you get called to death. I do not share any of your information, and I'm independent, so I can go to any company out there for you, so I can become a one-stop shop for my clients. So you don't have to worry about going and getting 10 different bids and doing all that. And I can show you what true pricing looks like when you get to be in control. As you have one more minute here, whatever. Okay, so before I left, as he was telling everybody, I went to Italy, my wife and I, recently, and before we left, I went and bought a sport coat. I paid $35 for this sport coat. I can go to Dillard's today and pay $250 for it. The same coat. Why would I do that? Maybe pride? I don't know. So why would I spend $150 for a doctor if I have another doctor who's going to charge me $75 with the discount of a network?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have an insurance company that's going to pay me. We have one plan. It pays over $150 if you go to the doctor. My wife, if she goes to the doctor, and both my wife and my doctors are not in our network, if she goes and pays cash, gets her discount that cash offers, which is really good,
and then a few ways you can still spend
that's
cash.
Exactly right, and then gets money from the insurance company, she's going to get a large check for just going to the doctor, going to the hospital, going for other things, and our deductible only comes into play when you go to the hospital. So many times people don't even have a deductible come out of pocket. Whereas, like you said, yours was $6,000. Mine was like $10,500 or $12,500. And if you didn't hear me the first part of the show, I was in the hospital for 5 days with a pulmonary embolism, almost died in June. If I would have had my insurance plan that I had before with Obamacare, I probably would have. I would have had a heart attack when I saw my bill. But I would have paid out of a $20,000, what I call $15,000 fake bill. I would have paid over $10,000 of that money. $10,000. My discount was more than $5 or around $5. My deductible was taken out. They paid all the providers, paid the hospital, and I had $2,800 left over. I got a check. Dave has seen it. I've shown it at different times when I'm on the show to people who watch on Facebook Live. I've shown copies of my checks. I think he's got a copy of it here still. $2,862 and some change.
Keep talking.
Yeah. So, we have people that are constantly looking for help. They say, I'm tired of paying so much. I'm tired of paying a mortgage payment for my health insurance. My employer's paying half, and I'm still paying way more out of pocket than I want to. And I hear these things over and over and over and over again. And yet, when I reach out to people, they're like, oh, I'm scared. I don't know. I think that's the only kind of insurance there is.
I don't have it.
It's the only way that you're ever going to get out of that system there.
This is the thing. If you're saying, I don't really understand how this is working, then call.
Exactly.
I mean, look, if it's going to save you a bunch of money, if it's going to save you a bunch of hassle, doesn't it make sense to check it out?
That's the way I feel about it, too.
If he was here telling you how instead of spending $55,000 for a new pickup truck, and he had a way for you to buy the pickup truck, and it's only going to cost you $25,000, would you call, or would you just go out and willy-nilly spend the extra money? That's the key here. Be proactive. Take control. Take responsibility and control yourself. 501
that's right.
605-6935 is the number. Text there, call there. You can get a hold of Pat there, or do it on his website, yourhealthplanman.com, or call right now here on the station Ask your question right now, 823-0965. Can you zero in on that that check for me for the folks that are watching this on Facebook Live? And there, we've got it up for people to look at Facebook Live. How much is that check worth?
$2,862.71.
Okay, let them see it again. Don't pull it down. He's Zach is over there zooming in. He's got it. Okay, so everybody saw it. It's not anybody's imagination. It actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, my bill's paid, the providers are happy, and I get a check. That's a pretty good deal. If you have insurance through your work, call or text me or go to my website, yourhealthplanman.com. If you have private insurance that you're just picked up on your own, call, same way, text, do whatever. If you are self-employed, you just have nothing to lose. If you're on a share plan, any of the Christian share plans, I'm not here to bemean that, but you need to talk to me. You need to understand how those work and what are some of the shortcomings of those things. And like I said, I've got a pastor friend who was on a share plan for a long time, and he now has my health insurance. And some people keep the share plan and the health insurance, and they work together. But here's something to think about. No share plan is health insurance. That's important, because if something happened to a health insurance company, the government, not the government, but it's actually called a reassurance is what it is, that bails them out. Okay.
Okay. So the money's there. It comes in.
Yeah, the money's there. So if a share plan goes under, you've just lost your money. There's nothing that you have to show for it. But the other concern that you should have is if bunches of people had a pandemic break out within the share plan, they're all having to pay for each other. There's no big central place that's paying for it. You're paying for each other's care.
That's correct.
So they're going to pray for you, but they might not pay for you. So you need to understand that. That's kind of one of our mottos when it comes to this. Again, I'm a big believer in using a share plan along with our health insurance. It's a great, great combination.
Have a backup.
Yeah, by all means, please give me an opportunity to talk to you about that. And then, this is open enrollment coming up. I am just helping people left and right now. I'm working day and night. I'm working weekends. I am going to be, we've talked about this. I'm going to be at the Cabot Fest.
That's coming this weekend.
Yep.
Come on out and party.
Yep. I'll be at Cabot Fest on Saturday, and I'll be right over on Main Street. Got a really nice booth. You'll see Your Health Plan Man, a big banner. And come on out. We've got some really nice, not the cheap kind, but some really nice pens.
Okay,
and
you got some swag to hand out.
Yeah, we're going to give away a $100 restaurant gift card. But what we do is different, Dave. That's the best thing I know how to say. We take care of people. And
I keep telling people.
Yeah.
I know it sounds different. It sounds different than what you've always heard, because it is different than what you've always heard. Doesn't mean that it's not better than what you've heard. Okay, so here's what you have to do. You got to call Pat. His number is 501-605-6935. I'm going slow because I've been told that I give the numbers out too fast sometimes. 501-605-6935, and you can text him there or you can call him there. You can also go on the internet and reach him at yourhealthplanman.com. That's easy to remember. yourhealthplanman.com. And his name is Pat Davis. And if you want to meet him, at the Cabot Fest this weekend. He'll be hanging out on Main Street.
Be out there all day.
Doing your thing.
Yep.
Your wife going to be there?
Yep. Sure is.
I can't imagine people would stop to talk to you. She's the pretty one. They'll be stopping to talk to you because she's there. I know. I'm telling the truth. I tell the truth.
That's exactly right.
501-605-6935 is the number to reach Pat Davis. And he's got it on our screensaver.
Yeah, from the Italian
Very good.
trip.
All right. Oh, by the way, I've got 1 minute. Tell everybody the what was it, the Venice Film Festival was going on? Was that
Oh
what it
yeah, we were
was?
there.
Saw Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, we were there. I didn't see them, but the actors and actresses were there. I didn't even know what was going on. And I started looking into it after we were there. And I was like, wow, we missed an opportunity. They had a big red carpet. We walked right by it. And it was
You mean
it was pretty
you didn't
big.
sneak over on it?
No, we were being ushered into our event that we
you
were
just
having.
snuck over
Yeah,
on the red carpet.
onto the red carpet.
That'd have been so much.
Got
that's
thrown
so
in
cool.
prison in Venice.
They wouldn't have thrown you in prison. They just thrown you off the red carpet.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, it's always a pleasure to have you on the air. I want to
Thanks
thank you
so
for
much.
coming by. Again, don't forget his number, 501-605-6935, or his website, yourhealthplanman.com. We'll get with you again before the year's out, brother.
Arrivederci.
Wow, he even learned a little Italian while he was over there. But he didn't eat any of the kind of freaky food over there.
No.
No eggplant.
No.
Oh, man, come on. All right.